Now wait till you see what happened, especially when we get to pricing. This is the April housing market update. If you don't know who I am, my name is Christian Stubbs. I'm a team leader and owner here at Onyx Homes. And I'm gonna go through a quick summary on the different things that we are seeing going on in the market. And then I'm gonna make a comparison to what we're really seeing going on in the field out with clients. If you've watched very much from me, you know I don't love doing, but I am gonna give you a prediction at the end of this video here. So let's dive right into it. I've got the 5 major numbers that we always look at, starting with the first one is new listings. Now, if you didn't see last month's video on the housing market update, this is the same thing. We are actually lower on new listings coming to the market even than we were last month. And last month was not nearly as many new listings to the market as we had expected. So we are 13% lower on new listings to the marketplace this year compared to last year. So there's fewer homes coming to the market. And the thing that's even more interesting is usually this time of the year, if you look at the chart for new listings, it goes straight up and to the right for the first half of the year, and we are not seeing that. The last 2 months, we've actually seen a decline in the number of new listings coming to the market. That's not exactly great because that means supply is getting even lower, or I should say new supply coming to the market is getting even lower. So what we should be seeing is this number increasing, and what we're seeing is that it's actually going down. And for reference, last month, there were 1,850 new listings coming to the market, which is not as many as we need to be seeing this time of year. Now that is new listings. Let's talk about available listings, meaning active listings on the market or available inventory. Now, while new listings was not as high, it was actually going down in comparison to last month, active inventory has actually increased. So we do have more inventory coming to the market, which means that inventory is just ever so slightly outpacing buyer demand. This is a very good thing. And for this time of year, usually there's a ton more inventory coming to the market than buyers can keep up with. But we're really very close. Buyers are keeping up with new inventory, but good news is there were more available listings this month than there were last month, even with new listings coming to the market. Now, there's a few things that'll come together here when I get through to the summary that might not make a whole lot of sense, but I'll try to explain with what we're really seeing going in the marketplace that I think will help. So as far as active listings in Orange County, we have just under 3,000. It's, as the time I'm filming this, there's 2,912 new listings, and this is also down about 13% from where we were at the same exact time last year. I'm looking down at my notes to make sure that I have this right, but there's about 150 more listings this month than there were last month. So it's not a very big difference whatsoever, but at least it's going in the right direction. Days on market is our next number. This is how long it takes from a listing to go from sign in the yard to under contract, and it has gone down, not a lot, but from 10 days down to 9. Now, that might not sound like much of anything, but it came down from 17 last month, meaning we are in half the amount of time that it took 2 months ago to sell a home versus right now. And this number is probably gonna keep going down. As crazy as that is, at the absolute peak of the market, we saw this number get down to 4, 5, 6, 7. And to be at this number already at this point of the year is really just going to show you how fast buyers have to act in this market, and for sellers, how to prepare. All right, now this is what everybody is getting to. And I do want to say as well too, if you are not already receiving this update once a month in your email, it's probably because you're not on our email newsletter yet. Go to ocmarketupdates.com. This is something we send out every single Friday. We send out what we feel is the most important thing going on in our local marketplace here in Orange County. Now, we also send at the first of every month a market update, which is what you're watching right now. So if you like this type of information, you want to stay up to date on the marketplace, go over to ocmarketupdates.com, drop in the best email for us to send this to you, and make sure you get this in your inbox every single week. Now, let's get to price, which is what everybody's going to want to hear about, and this is going to shock you, is we have seen an 18% increase in pricing from this time last year. Yes, 18% higher year-over-year prices in Orange County. Now this is median home price, so of all of the homes that have sold, that price has increased. Now we have another newsletter coming out that'll show that Orange County is the highest increase in pricing in the entire country, and that excluded LA. So Orange County's housing market has been accelerating when a lot of others aren't, but it's also accelerating more than others. And I have a whole bunch of other videos I've talked about this, so I won't go too much into depth. But this month, the median home price was $1.15 million, which is a new record in Orange County, and it's showing that prices are steadily increasing, even with interest rates staying where they're at. Now, I'm not getting to my prediction yet, but I do think we will continue to see prices increase. All right, now let's move on to interest rate, which is wildly unchanged from last month. Interest rates have been right around 7% for several months now, so it's really no surprise that we're seeing all of the same things happening, even with interest rates remaining relatively unchanged. So at the time that I'm filming this, interest rates, according to Mortgage News Daily, are at 7.01%. Now, I cannot stress this enough. Do not think that that's going to be your interest rate if you were to get a loan today. There's so many variables that go into it. I just use that kind of as a baseline to see where we're at. So that is kind of our overall summary of the major 5 points. I'm going to dive in a second, but let's do a quick review. So for new listings, we are down again. So new listings were down last month and they were down this month. Not meaning we didn't have new listings, but the amount of new listings is lower than it was in the previous month and the previous month. And we're way below, we're 13% below where we were this time last year, which was one of the lowest markets ever for new listings. Number 2 was available listings. So our available inventory is also 13% lower than it was last year at the same time. So we're still in a really low inventory market. This is something I think we're gonna see continue. Now, days on market is something that we're gonna keep seeing go down, at least through the summer, and we'll see what happens at the second half of the year, but homes are selling very quickly at a median of 9 days on the market. Price, as we mentioned, is at another all-time high, and we are at $1.15 million is the median home price in Orange County, an 18% increase over the same exact time last year. And interest rates, like I said, are right about 7%, and they hover right around there for the last several months. All right, so what does this mean for the actual marketplace? Well, for anybody that's still sitting in the camp saying there's gonna be a flood of inventory to the market, home prices are going to crash, I can't imagine there's very many people that are still in that camp that are thinking that's gonna happen. I don't see, and I've been saying this for the last several months, I don't see anything pointing towards a whole bunch of new inventory coming to the market. And the reality is we are in a position where buyers and sellers are dictating the market. Buyers are keeping up to pace with the new inventory. Now, I will say this, both buyer demand and seller inventory are both low, but they're equal, which is keeping us in this seller's marketplace, even with little inventory and even with little buyer demand, which is gonna keep inching prices up over and over. And I say inching, but an 18% year-over-year price increase is enormous. Now, here's the real question that everybody is really asking as far as what is gonna happen in the market moving forward. So here's the question is, will more homes come to the market before more buyers come to the market? Whatever happens first is really gonna dictate price. Now, if more home buyers come to the market before listings do, we are going to continue to see prices increase. Now, if we were to see a ton of inventory or even just a little bit more inventory come to the market before the buyers come to market, we will likely see a little bit more healthy market. I don't see any signs of a flood of inventory, like I just said, that would lead to prices decreasing. I don't see any signs of that. And if you look at all the major economists, they're all pointing towards 5 to 10% price appreciation for this year, even though we've already seen that in just the first quarter of the year. Now, I think most people are in agreement on this one thing, is that interest rates are going to come down. The question is gonna be, how much are they gonna come down and when are they gonna come down? All right, now if I was to make a prediction, which I'll go ahead and do now, but I do not normally like doing, is that this market right now feels very similar to beginning of 2020, where there was a lot of uncertainty going on and people had question marks in their head as to why are prices going up? Why are so many people still buying homes given the current circumstances? Now, we had very different current circumstances in 2020 than we do now, but it's really the same thing we're hearing, is why are people going ahead and still purchasing with the circumstances? And the reality is they are. Enough people feel confident purchasing property. And to be honest, here's my prediction, is most home buyers are buying a 5 to 10 year property. And I think if we fast forward 5 to 10 years from now, those people who purchased now, yesterday, tomorrow, today, are probably pretty happy that they bought. We're 10 years in the future. It's pretty safe to say we're gonna see prices higher than they are now. And as I said earlier, interest rates are very likely to come down. It's just how much and when. And 5 to 10 years from now, there's a pretty good chance that they're gonna be in a refinance opportunity, if not multiple times, at least once to be able to get that lower interest rate. Now, when you purchase the property, you are locking in the price. So if prices are higher 10 years from now than they are now, I think we're gonna look back and see that most people that purchase that are planning on buying a home and living in it for several years are gonna be glad they bought around now. I'm not saying today's the best time to buy. I'll never be that agent that says today's the best time to buy, now's the best time to sell. That's not who I am at all. But I am saying that if you're looking to buy a property and you want to live in there for the next 5 to 10 years, I think most people are going to be happy that they made the decision to purchase now as opposed to just waiting for the next whatever they're waiting for. So as my prediction goes, I think we will see seller supply and buyer demand stay at pace, and I think we will see interest rates come down at some point, which will keep this market going in a steady increase in both price. I think affordability will get a little bit better as we go on, but prices will definitely still be increasing. We should see more inventory coming at some point. It's just not happening yet. But as interest rates do come down, I think we will see more inventory come to the market. So buyers will at least have more to choose from, but that'll also bring more buyer demand as well too. So if you are a buyer and you find something that you like and you feel comfortable with the affordability of it, I think it's a great idea to buy the property, especially if you're gonna hold on to it for 5 to 10 years. I think you'll be glad you did. Now, if you're looking to buy a property and live in it for a year or two, there's probably a bigger discussion that needs to be had as far as what are you expecting to get out of it. Maybe it makes more sense to rent. Maybe it makes more sense to buy and then turn it into a rental property. There's so many different options with real estate, but there's not a one size fits all. But as far as the prediction goes, I think we're gonna keep seeing prices go up. Seller supply, buyer demand is gonna stay pretty even until we see interest rates come down. And then I think we'll see more inventory and more demand, and it'll just be a more competitive market with more choices for both sides, which is also a good thing. Now, yes, like I said, this is a prediction, but it is a prediction based on a ton of experience alongside of a very, very close pulse on what's actually going on in the marketplace. Our team here at Onyx Homes talks to hundreds, if not thousands of people every single month who are thinking about making a move. So we talk to people who are sitting on the fence like you might be, or they're looking to make a move right now. And this is really what we feel like is gonna be going on. So I hope you found this helpful, but I wanna leave one little segment here at the end for the sellers who are also buyers. If you've stuck around so far, first of all, thank you, I appreciate it. If you like videos like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out way more than you know, and we put a lot of effort into making sure we're sharing the best information possible. But this is gonna be for the people who are selling and buying, which you are definitely in the most complicated part of this, because you're looking at two totally different sides of the market and figuring out what should you do. I hate this question all the time from our clients who are buying and selling. So here's the number one thing that I think you need to make sure you're doing. You should be making sure that you have all of the options, and frankly, working with an agent and team that has options for you. So working with Onyx Homes, for example, you've got really 4 different things at least that we offer to our clients every day. So number 1 is you can sell your house without ever listing it on the market, and you can still sell it for a premium. Number 2 is you can get a cash offer today and close pretty much whenever you want. Number 3, we can do renovations on your home with absolutely no upfront cost to you whatsoever. And then you can sell the house for a real super premium. Or number 4, you can always list traditionally as well too, with our new era of real estate marketing, which makes sure that we're getting the most exposure, the most eyeballs, and the highest price possible for our clients. So if you want to get the ball rolling with any of those different strategies, it all starts with a conversation. So you can either go to trackmyvalue.com, where you can start with an online estimate of your home's value, and then our local experts will reach out to you and get a little bit more information. Or you can just simply reach out to us and put our information on the screen and down below. I think you know how to find us at this point. So if any of that sounds interesting, let's start a conversation. There's no cost, no obligation, no nothing. Again, I hope you found this valuable. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, share it to a friend, and I'll see you in the next video.